Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of The Legend of Heroes Trails into Reverie running on PlayStation 5. Oh, my cat. I haven't been able to feed my cat. The cruelty of this. The commotion in the city is starting to calm down to a degree. Garcia also helped us recover all of the remaining Zabra soldats and transport them to the Geofront. The remaining members of the Ebon Defense Force all willingly surrendered themselves too. As for Ilia Platier, she's been taken to the hospital. She's exhausted but in no danger. Thank Adios for that. She's in good hands with Dr. Sayland. Speaking of the doctor, sounds like Morel's surgery was a success. It's a shame I can't see her yet, but at least I know she's all right. You will soon. For now, we need to decide on our next move. Who knew something like that would show up on Lake Elm? The Retributive Tower. We've already seen it's capable enough to annihilate something the size of Juno Naval Fortress in an instant. From what I can see, it powers itself through the spirit veins. The energy is amplified and reflected by the combat shell satellites in the sky, which then direct them towards the desired target. The technology to fire a beam of its strength with such precision, with such precise accuracy, just doesn't exist in the Empire. But Elysium can realize it. I thought so. The fortress's troops were stationed elsewhere at the time of the attack, so by the grace of the goddesses, no one's lives were lost. I'm more ashamed that my old castle could fall so easily. I don't think any fortress could have withstood a blast like that. The aim was to show its monstrous capabilities, and it served its purpose well. You need only look at our neighbors' reactions to see that, particularly Calvard's. Indeed. You talked to the new president just earlier, didn't you, sir? I did, yes.
It feels like just yesterday that we were gathered to affirm Crossbell's independence. The speed with which you liberated your city was nothing short of astonishing. The many hardships the Crossbellans have endured have molded them into a most hardy people indeed.
We are hardly worthy of such praise. I truly regret that we've been unable to bring this crisis to a conclusion faster, Mr. President.
President Roy Gramhart.
But it is good to have this line of communication open to us again. Now, I believe it would be wise to discuss how to address that new weapon of mass destruction that...
As it happens, we have already begun preparing for our response. We have readied enough troops to dwarf even our great numbers from the war.
I see.
Surely you are aware of the extremely delicate position Crossbell finds itself in at present. If Erebonia, or even Calvert, were to try and intervene with force, well...
I am indeed weak. But how else is a head of state to respond when his territory is threatened?
The tower shall next rain judgment on the Calvert Republic's Baratier airbase. Its divine lightning will spare not one thing as it turns its frame to dust. You have until 5 o'clock this evening to reconsider your stance. I do hope you make the right decision.
Our military's general headquarters will be the next target if we do not act. We have no choice. I'm quite surprised as how much Erebonia is dragging its heels in light of the losses it has recently suffered.
I deeply regret the position your country has been placed in after a problem that erupted within our borders. But could you not give us a little more time to resolve this on our own? I assure you that we are not sitting idly by while your nation is threatened.
And I believe you. I have it on good authority that many capable hands have gathered in Crossbell. I would like to make our stance crystal clear. Refusing our gracious offer of support means you have also forfeited support from the Imperial Army. And given what is at stake, the deadline draws dangerously close. We will take action as we see fit.
President Gramhart, sir.
Yes, I fully understand that.
All is well. The Republican Army stands ready to aid you, should you require it. I hope you will make the correct choice, sooner rather than later, Mr. Speaker.
The rumors about him weren't an exaggeration in the least. If anything, they didn't exaggerate enough. I heard his actions since the war have made him very popular in the Republic. Until now, we feared that Calvard would use the Supreme Leader as an excuse to invade, but the Tower changed everything. They know as little about it as we do, so of course they would be hesitant about approaching it. Well, it's the right move. Playing this card has no downside for them. I don't doubt that as soon as they have a grasp of the situation, they'll use it as an excuse to intervene and claim Crossbell as their own. I fear my only option may be to request both the Republic and the Empire's aid after all. No. Oh, Grandfather. The lives of the entire continent are on the line. We don't have much choice. But doing so would cement Crossbell's status as a country unable to handle crises within its own borders. It'd kill its chance of re-independence for good. It's almost an impossible choice to make. Knowing where the next target will be works to the Republic's advantage as well. As does knowing that, while it is an important military base, it can be rebuilt with ease, unlike Juno. The deadline is also generous enough to give time to evacuate civilians in the vicinity of the blast. I'm sure preparations are already underway. All that to say that even if the worst should happen, Calvard will walk away with minimal damage at most. Lucky son of a bitches. And who were thinking things would get easier after that sly old fox they had before 23 was out of the picture? The delay could still work in our favor. It might mean we've bought enough time to take care of the tower ourselves. I'll take half a day more over nothing at all. I wouldn't bust out the champagne over that just yet. Agreed. There are reports that there are far fewer Zauber soldats stationed in the city now compared to when it was first occupied. And there's only one other place they'd be. So the bulk of them are defending the tower then. Maybe they figured out the city would be liberated again from the start. Surely not. Actually, after all that's happened so far, anything is possible. I lean towards it personally. Our foe's real goal was unveiling this giant weapon all along. But at this point, just who is our foe? It doesn't sound as though Elysium itself has a will of its own. That's right, it needs an administrator. The answer is whoever ousted me from that position and took it for themselves. That all this has continued unabated even after the Supreme Leader's demise suggests that it wasn't him. He would have been the most obvious answer. Our options otherwise are very few. I'll be honest, I'm not sure this is something Calvard and Erebonia's armies can solve. I don't think so either. The tower is capable of more destruction than even the past war if left unchecked.
I won't let that happen. Maybe whoever this is really thinks they're on some noble pursuit to bring eternal peace. But if you have to hold the entire continent hostage to maintain it, then how the hell is that true peace? How is that going to unite us? It's not going to unite anyone. We've worked too hard for this. I won't let this vice grip they think they have stop us from crossing the finish line.
Well said.
That's our Yuna.
You took the words right out of my mouth. We've stood up when knocked down 100 times. This is just 101. Because no matter how high the barrier, it'll never be enough to stop us.
Right. And all of us from Thor's will be right there to help you get over it. No, it's not just for you. I want things to go back to normal for myself just as much. I want to see a brighter tomorrow. And I want to see it together with the people I care about.
Rean.
Yeah, we're right there with you.
Liberal's here to support you all we can too.
Crossbell and Erebonia are neighbors, yes. But it's more that we've overcome enough as a team, and we would never back out now.
Yeah, teamwork's made the dream work enough times before. So why wouldn't we help?
We, of course, are also here for you.
Damn, do you guys love these cute speeches. I'd bust one out too if I had one to give.
Yet for all we have on our side, there are still limits to what we can do. The real key to our success is her.
True. As long as Elysium plays such a large role, its former administrator is going to make or break this.
She's the best. Perhaps the only hope we have of seeing tomorrow.
Your name is Lapis, right? I hate to put this kind of pressure on you, but we're absolutely going to need you in this upcoming operation. Will you help us?
No.
What?
I said I'm not helping you.
You did not just say no.
Read the room, Lapis.
That's how our girl is. She doesn't let anyone push her into doing what she doesn't want to.
It's not like we're bossing her around over something trivial.
She can't go, screw you guys, I'm out of here when the stakes are this damn high!
Are you saying no because you only want to help your friends?
No. I'd say the same thing to them. I'm not helping anyone. Because I'm the one who needs help. Elysium is at the center of everything that's plaguing the continent. That means, as its former administrator, I have a duty to set things right. I wish to make this very clear. This isn't your problem that I'm saving. This is my problem that you're saving. So please, I need you to help me. Way to turn it around, LP.
She is technically correct.
Does that technically matter?
Yes, it's a very important distinction.
She's more of a character than you led me to believe, Ian. Believe me, I'm just as surprised at how much she's grown. Her friends have no doubt played a vital part in that. Can't argue with that logic. The distinction works in our favor, too. We're here as friends, but as Erebonians, we can't officially interfere in Crossbell's affairs at the moment. I'm sure that was at the back of some of our minds when we agreed to step in. It was, but we're past the point where we can claim this only involves Crossbell. All of our lives are at risk here. We want to help, but even if we didn't want to, this affects us as much as it does Crossbell. Crossbell, Erebonia, Liberal, it's everyone's problem all across the map. That's a lot of people when you think about it. Yeah, but all across the map's right. And we need everyone we can get to help Lapis and overcome this. Estelle and Joshua never turned away a helping hand when they needed it. Thor's never turned them away either. Nor did the SSS. And we won't turn them away now. Exactly. What just happened? Are you ignoring me? Nope, you helped everyone feel like a team, that's all. Good girl, I'm so proud of you. I don't get why. I'd like to turn our discussion to what our present objective should be. Lapis, how exactly should we go about stopping the tower? Well, Elysium came to be through the orbital network and spirit veins. It existed in an entirely intangible state, so retaking control over it would normally be impossible. Right now, though, it exists in physical form through the tower's central terminal. That much is very clear to me now that the signal jamming is gone. In other words, right now we have a chance. Does this form make it possible for you to reinstate yourself as administrator? As long as we can reach the tower center and I can wire myself directly to it, yes. If we do that, both the tower and the divine lightning should cease to function. Then we have our mission. One that's a lot easier said than done. The Zauber soldats are going to be difficult enough to pass, and then the tower itself is built like a fortress. It's also worth noting that it's being protected by some sort of barrier while it draws in new energy. The barrier's mana is so dense that I doubt even railway guns could break it. It's that durable? I feared it would be something like that. Before we can even think of teleporting inside, we need to take care of that barrier. But we don't have anything stronger than the railway guns in Crossbell, even if they aren't up to the task. Let's not forget that the tower sits over a lake. We have one Merkaba hidden and ready for use, but this isn't going to be as easy to get to the Azure Tree but this isn't going to be as easy to get to as the Azure Tree was. Not with our enemy being armed to the teeth. My Merkaba is undergoing repairs in Erebonia with the Courageous 2, so that one's out. We could have taken care of it if we had our Divine Knights. Unfortunately, we're going to be facing one on top of everything else. Yeah, there's got to be something we can do, though.
And that something lies with me.
Oliver. Angie. George. Wait. Vita? Good to see you as always, Emma. Of course she decides to swoop in as we are discussing how to overcome new overpowering weapons. You don't always have to make a show of coming in to save the day, Vita. Huh, because you've never done it 1,000 times yourself, grandmother? I just couldn't afford to stay away, knowing the society, the professor mainly, is involved. If the rest of Thor's is getting in on protecting the beautiful ladies of Zemuria, then this new threat, then how could I skip out? If I get in on this action, I might get in on that action, know what I mean? If only we didn't. You look well, Crow. Same to you guys. I thought you were still in Arteria, Father Thomas. Must mean our ever-reluctant superiors realize they can't leave this to chance. You would be correct. Even they can't ignore a broadcast so damning. I see the SSS has been very busy. Hopefully I can give congrats once I'm back in Crossbell. Hold on to that congrats. Our work's not done yet. You've been conducting an independent investigation in the Empire from what I've heard. At the request of none other than the Prince himself here. We may be unable to mobilize the Imperial Army, but there's a way to catch the enemy unawares, even if it involves an element of luck. If it works, however, you'll be able to get inside the tower. Really? What's the way then? Please, my dear, and spoil the surprise? That, and I rather don't think we can afford to be too cautious with Elysium. That's smart of you. We can't rule out them being able to listen in on us somehow. What a horrific possibility. Well, shall we get to work on our operation? If you're willing to support me in that endeavor, of course, Commander Bales and Toa. I'd never turn that down. We have until it hits 1700 hours to pull this off. So time is of the essence. Let's begin at once. Prince Oliver, Commander Bales, and Toa began ironing out the details of how to enter the tower. The whole team, comprised of the SSS, Class 7, and Rufus's party, let them be to prepare for this grand battle. They agreed that the best use of their time would be to rest and recharge while touring the newly liberated Crossbell. This is going to be our last chance to prepare, but we've got less than half a day left, so there's only going to be so much that we can do. The bulk of the responsibility right now is with the commander and the others who are formulating a plan either way. Yeah, but we're responsible for preparing for the fighting we're going to be doing once we're in the tower. Indeed, I would like to tour the region and see how everyone is doing while we can, too. The bikes that Lisa got her hands on from the Rhineford Company should help us there. I'll explain the basics of riding them later on. Thanks. How long you been carrying those glasses around, by the way? I thought my mask would draw too much attention when walking around the city. This guy plans for everything. Shall we meet again here just before the operation is scheduled to begin then? Do all you can. Do all that you want to, now that you may face what comes next without regrets. Huh? Makes sense, I guess. We shouldn't be getting too friendly with them. Wait, Lord Rufus. Can I help you, Detective? You certainly look like you have something to say. Oh, I do. Thinking about it, this is our first time speaking since the pincer gruel before the war. Now that you mention it.
Think of it as my personal apology to you for Operation Birdcage. We will be recalling our troops from Michelin as well. Why don't you enjoy yourselves there one last time?
I'd like to thank you for the consideration. Not half as much as I'd like to deck you in the face.
Ah, if you're hoping to try and make good on what you said then, I would not be opposed to humoring you. But I would have thought there were better ways to use what precious little time we have left to us. I happen to agree. That's why I think it would be fruitful for you to travel around Crossbell with us. It's not possible to change the past, but during the upcoming operation, we will be fighting on the same team. The more time we spend preparing together, the easier I think we'll find it to back one another up if things get dicey. What do you say? Lloyd. We share Lloyd's view on the matter. Well, I can't deny there's bad blood between us, but the stakes are too damn high here to be petty. Far from me to second guess our leader. That's Lloyd for you, always looking at the big picture. You gotta hand it to the guy. We'd like to come along too. What, all of you are coming? Seriously. The rest of my classmates have their own preparations to make, so they won't be joining us, but we'll have to learn as much as we can in their place. We've been going around separately until now, so we all need to see how everyone else fights. But even putting all that aside, there's something I want you to see. I want you to see the strength of Crossbell's people. I want you to witness how even in times of hopelessness as these are, we never give up. Got some chutzpah. Very well. I see no reason to refuse. Yay, we get to hang out with the RX again. Who's RX? Risha, maybe? I didn't know you knew them. It's a funny story. We met not that long ago. We're part of a secret assassins club. What? Like we need any more crazy kids.
Yes? I'm all ears if there's something you want to say.
Your name is Lloyd Bannings, right? I think it was you after all. Who was what?
Did he do something?
I performed one last prediction of the future, just before control of Elysium was stolen from me. And that briefly showed me someone who I think was you.
Wait.
Is something going to happen to him? Please, don't worry. I didn't see a vision of him dying or anything.
But that doesn't mean it won't happen.
What I saw was very fragmented. So I can't be sure exactly what it meant. But I feel as though it was telling me that you are the only one capable of unraveling the truth behind all of this.
Me?
Yes. You are the only one who fulfills all of the conditions. But all I saw was this possible future's conclusion. I didn't see what steps would lead up to making it happen.
Sure wish we had a few more details to go on.
But that's a hard story to ignore, given Elysium's ability to predict the future.
Okay. I'll keep what you said in mind. Thanks for telling me, Lapis. I'm sure we'll need all the help you can give once this whole thing kicks off, too.
I thought I told you that this is my problem that you're saving? You're helping me.
So you did.
Shall we set off then? Once our preparations are complete, we need to assemble on the tower's rooftop. Yeah, so let's make sure that when we do, we're heading out with no regrets. Right. Ooh, more talking. Oh, okay. Did that thing finally open up? I think something must have happened. Maybe we should go and look when we get the chance. About the final preparation period. At this time, you can explore the entirety of Crossbow with certain party members. Those not in your party will remain in town, so you're welcome to seek them out for a chat. Unlike when traveling in town with a limited party, all party members can be used when on highways or in dungeons. Open the party menu upon venturing onto a highway or enter a dungeon and choose your active party members. Oh boy, I got some shades. Okay, let's see what's in the corridor.
Warning to all visitors. Elysium has attempted to interfere with this space 4,096 times.
What did it just say? What is he talking about?
These increased failed attempts prove that the interference with the laws of causality outside this space is at a critical point. Conclusion. Limited permissions to retain memories outside of this world must be granted to combat further attempts.
Did I understand that correctly? There's a lot to process all at once.
Accessing Reverie Corridor Management System. Adjusting awareness suppression processes.
Hold on. Well, something just happened. Wait a sec. I know this feeling. My memories are back. Mine too. So that's what we've been training to prepare ourselves to combat. This must be the Garden's way of telling us just how much stronger we'll have to become to triumph. Seriously though, did you have to go and flip the switch on our memories while we were awake? My head's still spinning.
The action was deemed necessary to raise chances of controlling the crisis unfolding in the outside world. Elysium cannot be allowed to alter the laws of causality. Visitors will still be unable to retain the memories of the Reverie Corridor upon exiting.
That's a little disappointing. It must be the one rule it won't compromise on.
Permissions now granted to enter the Reverie Corridor's 4th stratum. May you seize the hope to overcome the impossible over the course of your trials.
As if we have less choice in the matter. At least we finally get the big picture. That explains all the help we've been given since we got here. It was for this. Yes, and the pivotal moment we've been training for is much closer than we thought. The threats we're up against are Elysium and the Retributive Tower. Getting those memories back also means we already know what we need to do. We're going to stop them, for Crossbell and for the entire world. Right. Damn straight we are. So long as we have time to train, I know we can turn this around. Indeed, this is our ace in the hole, so we'd be fools not to use it. And I'll back you guys up all the way. That goes for all of us. I'm raring to see what this new stratum's got for us. Now is the time to hone our skills once more. This is our last chance to steel ourselves for the final battle. Make it count, everyone. Right. Okay, I'm glad everybody didn't have a sentence. My god, there's a lot of characters. Everyone's motivated and doing whatever they can to prepare for the final battle. I can't let myself be the odd one out. This time I got ready too. The Reverie Garden state has changed. You will now begin exploring the Reverie Garden as Lloyd. Additional characters can now be recruited via gold sealing stones. Estelle and Joshua will now assist you in the Reverie Corridor. Zeit. Okay, I guess they were kind of the last two that couldn't assist.
Detected. Confirming rank points accumulated. Liberation rank changed. Transferring rank reward.
I've done all this and only have a rank C? That's just so weird.
New contents available.
How many mini missions can be activated once in the Reverie Corridor? Add shuffle scrubs. Buff certain fights. Tag along 7.
Bolstering program available. New contents available. New features available. New contents available. New features available. New features available.
AGB PCP boosted for trials and shuffle scuffles. Yeah, might as well.
New features available. Central core activated.
Trade items. Huh. I think we want to do some more of those stories too, right?
Slab of Reminiscence activated.
Down the rabbit hole. March 6th, 1207. Septian calendar. Milsante, the Traveler's Haven. Woohoo! Here we are. Come on, guys, get a move on. No need to shout and bounce every which way. Agreed. Calm yourself, Milliam. Ah, come on. It's been so long since I got to stretch out in a human body. And check out the size of that waterfall. It's just like how I remembered it from my mission. We should borrow a boat and see how awesome it is up close. It'll be fun. I'm sure it would be, but we're a little short on time here. You do remember why we're here, don't you? Or more specifically, who we came here for, honestly. I know. Oh, there he is. Hey there, Milliam. Glad to see you're doing so well. And thanks for making the time when you're all so busy, guys. I'm guessing your students couldn't make it, Rean. Yeah, they got their hands full with something else at the moment. So, is it true that you found him? Almost certain of it. Wait, where is he? Don't tell me he's skipping out on this. I'm right here. Lead the way, George. Show us the hidden sector of the Black Workshop. Daydream down the rabbit hole. Well, Milliam? Oh, you're right. Lammy's here. I'm sure of it. I'm glad we finally found him. I know you've been worried about him ever since you two were liberated from your fates as a sword. Yeah, we couldn't talk, but I could tell we'd become one. But when I was brought back, I realized I couldn't sense him at all anymore. and no matter how hard we looked, we couldn't find any trace of him in the Black Workshop facilities. Nor did the branch campus or guild's investigations turn anything up. I sure wasn't expecting the entrance to a hidden sector to be found here all of a sudden. Do you suppose Father was responsible for this? Most assuredly. Doubtless he intended the gate only to appear upon the White Rabbit's revival. He always did have a want for the superfluous. I'll bet he figured Alberic would notice something was up if he put Milliam's body and Ertuglum in the same place. Unfortunately for us, that doesn't exactly make matters easier. I assume Milliam and Altina's biometrics will be necessary to recover Ergetlum. And I hate to be the bearer of more bad news, but there's a bunch of general-purpose combat shells and OZ Mirage units inside. When it rains, it pours. Definitely not the ideal place to take Milliam while she's unarmed. But what other choice do we have? Don't worry, we'll protect you. Indeed, we have ample strength to keep you safe. We'll do whatever it takes to recover your soulmate and partner, Milliam. I'll be right there with you, too. I'll make sure that my father's efforts to help you weren't in vain. Wow, you guys. I might put on the waterworks if you keep laying this much love on me. Somehow I knew it'd come to this. Oh, I don't think Milliam has to go in unarmed. She can go with my buddy instead. I've already made the adjustments necessary for her to work with him. Oh, your combat shell. Naglfar, wasn't it? Sounds like a plan. I like that he's a hand-to-hand type, just like Lammy. Nice to meet you, Rami? Mammy? But he doesn't seem to appreciate your nicknames, Milliam. And Nami is only one letter off from Sammy or Lammy. Making their names so confusing is unnecessary. Is that really the issue here? Well, if you're good with him, you ought to get going, huh? Professor Schmidt and I will guide you through, so be sure to keep your Arcus units connected. Got it? I suppose it's my duty to see the fruits of my first disciple's final labor. Then let's make our way inside. Are we actually playing, or is it just reading? Some of these side stories are strictly reading. Black Workshop, Hidden Sector. Well, here we are. I can literally hear how infested this place is with archaisms. But look how far we've come. I'm sure it's nothing we can't handle. Let's do our best, Milliam. You bet. Hold on, Lammy. I'll be there soon. This is the crew we're going with? Oh my god, we're gonna be dead.
The advantage.
Wow, that is a slow animation. My god.
It's down. Let's go, everyone. Excellent work, everyone.
My turn.
Leave it to me.
Yeah. I was like, so slow.
Whoa. It's unsettling to see all these OZ mirages roaming around.
I won't hesitate to eliminate any that prove to be hostile. Think of it as helping them be at peace now that the Great Twilight's over and the Black Workshop's gone.
Now, bring it on. Let's go.
Now, got him. What? I'll assist.
I will fulfill my duty as a noble.
the spot. Now, bring it on!
There! I shall go.
Let's go!
Very well.
Not on the...
I'll save you. Thanks. I'll save you. Thanks. I shall go.
I'm up!
Go in. Here I go.
Leave it to me.
There.
You have my thanks.
I'll support you. Thanks.
Let's go!
Engaging. Go in. There.
Very well.
Let's go! Ha! That's the power of the 8 leaves.
Way to go, Nammy. Would you please stop calling him that? Huh, I'm just glad she's managed to use Naglfar just fine in combat. No kidding, with a synchronization rate that high, making it through the facility should be a piece of cake. Well, compared to my sync rate with Lammy, this is nothing. Oh, no, it's not your fault. This is one of those moments where I'm left in awe at the brilliance of combat shell tech. I'm not sure what they're made of to be both tough and flexible, not to mention their autonomous minds. To say nothing of how being connected to one allows full comprehension of its language. It's less about language and more about gut feelings. You can tell what they're like super easy that way. Like Lammy's all laid back, but Nammy here is a big old marshmallow. Clamon Solis is more composed by comparison, but he still has his softer moments. Well, noted. I'll have to brush up more on the subject. I believe they were designed with the intention of developing the best specs and personality for their partner. I imagine that was partially to prep for their eventual fusion into the sword. Of course, now that the Great Twilight's over, no homunculus will ever need to become a sword of the end ever again. It's a less than pleasant view of an otherwise charming feature. No kidding, although it was always clear that Ergotlum was more than a weapon to Milliam. Yep, he's been like a brother to me since the moment I woke up. Oh, but you're still my sister, Tilly, so maybe he's more like a cool cousin I get along with really good. There's no need to worry about offending me. And after waking up, I got to go all over the place on missions, and then I got to meet you all. So in a weird way, I'm kind of grateful to Albrecht for making me like this. I see. That's a great way of looking at it. I miss Lammy now more than ever, though. Don't worry, you'll be reunited soon. I studied some combat shells after the war's end, but their internal structure is an enigma, to say the least. No one but the workshop's chief should be able to manufacture them. But if this is a place that he left behind, there's every chance we'll find Ergotlum here. Indeed, if William can sense him here, I don't believe there is any room for doubt. Then let's press on. I'm sure Ergotlum can't wait to see you, too, William. Yeah, so we better not keep him waiting. I wish he would rename him, because that's a hell of a name to say.
Let's do it, Lammy. Attack. Everyone. You got it.
Let's go! It's down!
There! Leave it to me. They're open!
Got him! You've really upped your game, Eustace.
Oh, they're all at a low level too. Okay, so this really is a separate chapter. You don't get to bring your characters with you.
It's my turn.
It's kind of a shame. I kind of wonder what the point of having battles is if you're not contributing to your character's growth.
That's the power of the 8 leaves.
In that sense, it makes more sense just to have like a visual novel instead of having gameplay.
Let's get him.
I'll assist.
It's my turn.
Let's go.
Engaging.
Seriously? Get KO'd, dude.
My thanks.
Hell.
Okay. Arcus, activate. I shall go. Yeah.
Thanks.
I'll support you. Thanks.
I'm up.
Okay. Yeah.
You
Thank
have
you.
my thanks.
I'll support you. Thanks.
Very well.
Engaging.
Sorry, everyone.
I'll save you. Thanks. Okay. There.
Thanks. It's my turn.
Engaging. Charging. Okay. Arcus, activate.
You have my thanks.
There.
You have my thanks.
Let's go.
My turn. Okay. There.
It's my turn.
I'm up. That's the power of the 8 leaves.
Yeah, the power. Kept dying over and over again. Don't tell me about your damn power.
Beginning combat. Go in. Arcus, activate.
It's my turn.
It's my turn.
Fire Volta.
I'll support you. Thanks. Go. Thank you. Go. Thank you. I'll save you. Thanks.
Strengthening. Let's go. It's down. Let's go, everyone.
Yes. My turn. Okay. Stats updated.
Whew. You okay, Lisa? Still worn out? I bet. Sure sounds like you worked your butt off in Crossbell to make it in time for the wedding. I wish I could play it cool and say I'm fine. But that'd be a whopper of a lie, because, whew, it was not easy. You helped put affairs in order there after the war and the Defense Force's occupation, yes? That's right. I oversaw the removal of all soldats and railway guns from Crossbell. And Mother was in charge of the dismantling of Tangram Fortress. Oh, that couldn't have been a simple task. That fortress was part of the front line during the war. Countless others are working tirelessly behind the scenes for Crossbell's independence, but a major condition for realizing that goal was removing all of the weaponry. Even with Sharon helping me, I barely had a moment to rest. Oh, sounds like it's been rough. Mackay and Toa were also in Crossbell. It sounds to me like they were up to their eyeballs in work as much as you. I don't know how you got all that done in less than a month. There's straight up no stopping you once you're on board. It was a team effort. Besides, I've still got to take care of the military factory, so it's not all done. That said, I feel like I have a newfound understanding of my mother's efforts after seeing her work firsthand. How so? Don't get me wrong, I still refuse to support her decision to mass-produce weapons to support the war effort, but I'm willing to accept that she was trying to make the most pragmatic decision as Reinford's chairwoman. That, and she really stepped up by offering to cover a good chunk of the reparations as head of the company. Indeed, I've been hoping to thank her on behalf of the House Albaria when the time is right. I would have thought her own daughter to have noticed something so blatantly obvious sooner. She's an expert in negotiation, operations, foresight. She discovered faults in Gwyn's entrepreneurship even as a student. The Reinford company would only be half the company it is now without her. Though it feels to me like it was Francis passing that put her working habits into overdrive. Maybe she wanted to protect the place where she'd spent so much time with him. You may be onto something, but you'll never catch her admitting it.
These may be challenging times for the Reinford Company, but it is just as much a new beginning. I'm expecting rapid growth from you, leading the 4th Development Division. Show me that I was right to place my faith in your talents as our daughter. Have I made myself clear?
I don't think I'll ever be what she is, but that won't stop me from doing my best all the same. Well, we'll be right here to cheer you on. And you know I'm here for you. I'm going to live up to it big time. And it's my way to thank you, your dad, for giving me the chance. I'll see that she does. Man, I love all the stories sometimes, but I hate the fact that it's not all voice acted. Just, there's so much I have to say in so many different voices and so many different situations and characters with so many different hard to pronounce words. This is Autopostrophe. You've been watching The Legend of Heroes Trails into Reverie running on PlayStation 5. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.